evening, Professor. My name is Cristian Castañeda, and I'm going to start presenting about disintermediation. On this class, Management Information Systems, it was a really challenging class because of the topics that we touched base on, and also of this presentation because I didn't have, I decided not to have any group members because I like to work on my own, and also that's why I choose this topic, because if we think about the terminology, disintermediation, that means that you are removing some of the middlemen in between. In this case, as we can see, we start by the supplier. Well, we start in the buyer because us, the consumers, the customers, are the ones looking for the product. Also, if we are looking for a product, we need to go to our retail stores. The retail store is going to provide that wholesaler that, of course, they buy in bigger products in high quantity. And the manufacturer, those are the ones in charge of distribute all those products into the retail stores. Also the supplier, but in this case, disintermediation means about taking away these three guys: manufacturer, wholesaler, and retailer. In this case, me as a buyer, I'm gonna have a direct relationship with the supplier. In other words, I'm gonna have more savings, and disintermediation tends to occur when the inflation hits hard on the city, and because of the bank's high rates, the retail stores and some of the companies around the US cannot handle anymore to have a physical store due to the competition between companies, and also because nowadays we're experiencing the e-commerce. E-commerce, that's the market through the internet. For example, Amazon, eBay, Mercado Libre. We have plenty of options to look for, and we just have to click on buy, and that product is going to be delivered to us. Also, disintermediation, what it basically means is taking away the players from the middle and making that contact between me as a consumer and the supplier. We are taking away the customer representative that used to take the complaints, also to create an order number, to elaborate on the delivery, and all that money that the company used to pay on that representative, that's gonna make me save a little bit more of money. But also, let's say if I have a complaint, let's say if I wanna return back the product, I have to do it by myself, and that's something that we need to think about it, because of course we have some advantage that's gonna make me save more money, but we have of course the disadvantage that I'm not gonna have an opinion of the actual product, and I'm not gonna have that customer service that's gonna help me to either decide or what is the best option. Something that is happening nowadays is that many of the retail stores around the US are closing, are being shut down. We have already seen the Kmart store that is almost closed in all the US. We have a couple still open, but also what is happening right now with Sears. Sears, if we go to the mall here in Brownsville, we can see it right now. Everything is 50%, 70% off because of they need to take advantage of those discounts, because in order to make some revenue of all the losses that they have had. In this case, if you think about it, what's the worst scenario for Sears? The thing is that they don't have one right now, because they are going through that scenario. They used to have more than 150 stores around the US, and if we see that perspective, I mean that means a lot of jobs in just one store. We need more than 300 employees in order to function, in order to have that store properly functioning. And imagine that times 150 around the US. Of course, we're taking away too many jobs, but in this case, we need to innovate. We need to always look for new products, new option to the customer, because that's what is focusing e-commerce. E-commerce, we have plenty of options. If you go to the internet right now, or if you simply go to Google and put e-commerce, that's gonna give you some option as, of course, Amazon, eBay, Mercado Libre, and many more. What I'm going to this with e-commerce is that we don't even need to go anymore to a retail store. This is because I just have to look something in Amazon. Let's say if I want to buy a TV, I want to buy a sweater. I just need to look for that specific item, click on buy, and that product is gonna be delivered to my house. I don't have to go through the long lines. I don't have to worry about the parking space. Why? Because e-commerce is innovating all of that. And if you think about it, they are making all those efforts to the benefit of the consumer. In this case, that's something that Sears didn't focus on, because in order to compete with something that's already between the population, Sears wanted to launch an app that is Shop Your Way, basically an app that is online, but in order to compete, you have to do an study, to know your buyers, to know what your population is. Sears did have many buyers, but they were mostly middle age, between 50 and 70 people, age people. And think about it, if your grandfather or your grandmother want to buy some new products to their house, of course they want to go to the stores. They want to go physically to the store. They're not going to go to a computer, because they are not computer wise as we do. That's what I want to think. And of course, for us, it's going to be really easy just to grab a phone, just to download the app and look for all those options online. But let's say for my grandfather, of course they're used to go to the store, because that's the way they were raised for. They were raised to go to a store, get that product, and make it happen, basically. Going back to disintermediation, this action really hit hard Sears, because now that it's closing, most of the stores around the US, they have to, well, they didn't think about it, and they thought that basically it was just a bad year that didn't have like too much revenue like the ones before. and I wanted to compare it because also that's something that's happening with JCPenney right now. If you search it, JCPenney has more than 850 stores around the world. Around the US, and but they are closing already 27 stores. What I'm getting at with this is that JCPenney is in the right moment to avoid disintermediation. They need to create a platform online like Amazon and start selling those products. Obviously, start taking away some of the jobs, but they need to create that platform in order to be competitive with Amazon, with eBay, to avoid all these I want to say all these losses that they could have, and of course create more jobs through the internet to not also through the retail stores. They can have some for the like I told you the example with the Sears, middle-aged society that still go to the retail store, but also create that platform online. And in conclusion, disintermediation can be avoided if you, as a manager, as an executive, do the proper steps to innovate, to compete. But also, if you are being hit hard by disintermediation, you need to adapt to it. And like Sears, that was something inevitable. And if you can avoid that disintermediation, of course do it. Of course, by all means do all you have to do to avoid it, because you're gonna keep that brand, you're gonna keep those employees, those customers happy. And if you can, that's what e-commerce is doing right now. The e-commerce is innovating, it's going to the benefits of the customer, and that's something that we have to do also in our daily lives, innovate. Thank you.